Pretty pretty good day so far. What is it? 11:45, quarter to midday. Went for coffee this morning. Went to get some groceries. I went to the coffee shop, walked through town. There were shenanigans, which I thought were quite funny. And yeah, went for coffee. The girl there was seemed in a bit of a state, and but then seemed to chill out a bit. But then was put up to framing a cup of coffee in a particular way, and maybe, maybe not, maybe I've got to get used to. Well, I can pretty much get used to people framing, assigning meaning and so on and so forth, and framing debates and so on and so forth. Like running around with arguments all around me, left, right, and centre. I gotta say I'm not interested, but that's the way it goes, I suppose. But yeah. Walking through town, it was the stuff I mentioned before about South Asians and so on. Yeah, sat in the coffee shop, enjoying my mocha, and yeah, what was it? Yeah, there were people talking. At one time, we got a hubbub, which was totally unrepresentative of the amount of people that was in the coffee shop, and then went to the toilet. Some bloke wanted to be noticed. I got the impression. No, I just completely took the notice. Went to the toilet. These are the things that go on. Then I went for groceries. Which was I didn't say at the coffee shop. Did I say at the coffee shop I was drugged up to take notice of shenanigans I wasn't taking any notice of? I don't know, for whatever purpose that serves, I really don't know. But anyway, that type of stuff does happen. But the way this girl framed the coffee, it's sort of there was one occasion where this guy on the ward, and he's a great guy. But he was put up to saying, for whatever reason, you're killing them. What? And it's sort of a bit like what happens on TikTok, where people like try to frame what you do, and so on and so forth, and run around with this, that, and everything, and again trying to impose meaning and set up debates here, there, and everywhere that you're just not interested in. But that seems to be there seems to be a big preoccupation to do that sort of thing. And the state of the girl down the coffee shop suggested that the people behind the ad agency and the total institution just really ain't got much of a clue. One of the things I'm doing. Oh yeah, I'll go over when I went for my groceries. So many adverts there. I mean, I've said before about people advertising families. How many adverts for families were there? It's like I've said before, like if you're that into your family, enjoy them. You don't have to advertise. You don't have to perform around me. With cameras and audience behind the cameras, some attempt at big deal dramatic moments. This morning, look, I am going for a coffee. I am going to pick up some groceries. There's not much else to it than that. But yeah, again, and like I said, about this guy. I will repeat, he's a great guy on the ward. He said the once. I think this was not the last time I was on the ward, but the time before that. You're killing them. Well, who am I killing? And how am I killing them? I'd love to know. But anyway, but that's the the danger, I suppose, is that the people behind the total institution, the people behind the ad agency, can then come in like sort of like I've suggested many times, with harking back donkey's years to when a group of people went running around assigning meaning and so on and so forth. This means this, that means that, and you just get on with your thing and leave them to it. But the nature is, the people who tried to come round here, representatives of the local psychiatric unit, could come round here on any notion that they get and say, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. Sort of what they would have done had they come round last week or earlier this week. But there is a big element of farce, and it is pretty damn bizarre. But what I've been doing around the flat is sort of doing things I need to do, like putting various stunts in their place. And like I said about AI in the last video, I think it was. It said you've got you along with your environment sort of have to find one another again. That's pretty difficult. I'm guessing that people are still busting into the town, so that sort of approach would never work with people busting into the town. They're just not from the town, if that's still the case. But yeah, interesting how people frame things when they're under the influence, and people are put up on the basis of those people. People are put up to coming up with the type of stuff they've been coming out. They came out with on wards all over the show. That's the way it is. But yeah, thinking in terms of practicalities, thinking in terms of getting on with doing things and taking your time, and I have made it, by speaking openly about my approach to what goes on around here, and that it is a worthwhile strategy. It's a good strategy. It's an effective strategy so far, despite the fact that they can drug you up at any time, like they did at the coffee shop, on some harebrained notion that they seem to be getting these people. Come on. Like, on the ward, I was getting on with stuff, and then they were running around saying you're killing them. It's like any notion. No notion is bizarre enough for the people who feed this stuff to other people. But yeah. So, like I said, which sort of, yet again, is yet another indication of how these people can set up the conditions for their own, to increase their own involvement. And it sort of is an echo of 2000, isn't it, in some ways? But yeah, I enjoyed my coffee, The sum total of this morning is I went for a coffee and I went to get some groceries. And beside that, there was just a whole heap of amateur dramatics. I just laughed it off, like I should have done. That is a strategy I should have been allowed to use, going back to 2000. But yeah, and that reminds me of another thing. This cheesy laugh I'm supposed to have at times. It ain't just a laugh. It sort of stops me at times, because I'll laugh when I want to, thank you very much. If I'm doped up to laugh at times, when I don't want to laugh, I won't laugh. But if I want to laugh, I will laugh, thank you very much. But that laugh that some people say is cheesy or whatever, it serves two purposes. It stops me from laughing my head off, having hysterics, and it stops me from kicking off at times when I'm drugged up in ways that may lead, if I'm not savvy to it, to you kicking off because they've given you drugs that sort of engineer the subject to lack as much self-control as they would have if they weren't on those druggings, sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, pragmatic stuff. And it's like I tried saying to him on the ward. Well, I've said in videos, I tried hinting at on the ward. You know, you are trying to apply conventional techniques in some ways. They're trying to use conventional techniques in an unconventional situation. Meanwhile, I'm getting on with conventional stuff despite all the shenanigans, despite the druggings, and just do it. Just get on with that. And the things I see, the subject position I'm supposed to be at times, like for example, with that guy saying you're killing them and all that sort of hyped up drama. It's just like, if that is the state these people are in, that should be for them to deal with, not for me. But anyway, I did think about doing this last night actually, and call it on technique or on methods. And now the methods of characterising so much of this stuff as one big fuck off advert for all manner of things. It is. If people say we're here for your welfare, well, I know the pace I need to take things. I know the types of things I need to do. I've been vocal about it, so to get like, this is how he's thinking. So people don't go off their heads and start saying who's killing them or whatever, whoever them happens to be this week. But yeah. I mean, it's all like as I look out the window at more ads and attempts to engineer scenarios and stuff like that. I'm not interested in. Reason being, it ain't living life. You don't go mad on demand. What type of existence of these people envision for me? But I think I've established, at least with myself, and this has been the case for a long time, that these people can engineer scenarios where they can charge in. So we need, on the basis of what they've concluded, despite the fact that so many fuck ups that I see, and subject positions that seem really, bizarre for me. That people read the type of things into my behaviour that they sometimes do. But yeah, I don't know. Not even letting off steam, just as I'm drugged up. I'm clearly drugged up at the moment. But yeah, another morning. I did actually get out there. I did really enjoy it. There was stuff going on down the supermarket. I was getting my groceries. I was having a cup of coffee this morning. Everything else. If people are pulling stunts around me, like if people pull stunts around anyone, do you really just take it lying down, or do you actually say and like go off your head because or whatever, or adopt subject positions that some people may want, but that are completely bogus? But of course you don't. But the thing is, like we had at the coffee shop this morning, the people behind the ad agency and the total institution do frame things in particular ways. I suppose you just gotta leave them to it. But like I said, the thing I was going to say last night in another video was that I was going to say why doing the stuff I'm doing around the flat, I'm doing the type of stuff I'm doing around the flat. It is to, and I'm making great strides with that, to get back to a sense of who I really am. And practically, not with this, not with an eye on, all the shenanigans that take place, all the performances, and so on and so forth. But if ultimately, it becomes, the the faces fix in the way of the architects eventually, which I wouldn't be surprised. Then I think I can cope on the basis of this morning, without doubt, with that going on for the rest of my days. And that's just the way it is, I suppose. So interesting morning. Really enjoyed this morning. It went far better than I could have thought. I mean, I thought Tesco's was going to be like the supermarket that I went to was going to be like Christmas Eve, jam packed, but it wasn't. They had their dramas, and that's the way it goes. It's with the advert and with the total institution, all the rest of it. But yeah. So yeah, look at that. There's me getting on with stuff. There's them running around as if there's no tomorrow. Maybe, just maybe, trying to prepare themselves by manufacturing all manner of debates and so on, framing someone's behaviour, but ultimately they ain't really got a clue. I think, at least I know that. But yeah, so like I say, great morning. But if it does come to it, and the powers behind the ad agency, the total institution, decide that I'm going to be talked to for the rest of my days, like the architects had got people to talk to me, like, I think I can live with that, because I'm going to have to anyway. Because there are some things in life that you just have to accept. And you do have to accept that some people at times do go off on one.